Right, in this video I'm going to talk about the functionality of block outlines. So to access the block outline dialog, press menu and then choose outline. And this is the block outlines dialog, and at the top you can see you've got 4 sets here. So to change the sets you press page until they're all highlighted, and then the side to side arrows to view each set. As you can see, I've only got 1 set loaded here, but you can have up to 4. So you may want to set up it so you've got your grazing rotation in set 1, a different rotation in set 2, and possibly your buildings and void zones in set 3. So the top half of the dialog, you can see the list which details the individual polygons. So you can highlight each item, and as you can see the map preview zooms to the feature that you've highlighted. And you can also press page to select the map preview and then use the cursor key to zoom around, and you can select your outlines this way. And you can also use the plus and minus keys to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so for the functionality for the block outlines, you press the menu key again, and then you get this context menu pop up. First item in the menu is preview, and that controls your map preview in the bottom half of the screen. So to maximize the preview, just highlight that using the arrow to select it, highlight maximize and press enter, and now you can see the list is gone and you've got the map preview taking up the full screen there. And then press menu again, and you've got an option to restore, which will set it back to half screen. There's also fit selection, which will, as it says, fit the selection to the screen. So if you're zoomed way in, you choose fit selection, it'll jump back to the selected feature. And likewise, if you select fit all, it will fit all your block outlines to your map preview at the bottom there. The next item in the list is in your menu is select, so you can select all features, or you can select no features, or you can use what we call multi-select, which enables you to select more than one feature at a time. So to use multi-select, you can either use the list, so you press F1 to select the item, and scroll down to another item, press F1, and now you've got 2 items selected. Press F1 again, and you've got 3. And obviously F1, when you've got an item selected, will unselect the item. There's also a menu option. Instead of pressing F1, you can select toggle item. It does the same thing. Okay. And now the third option is find. At the moment you can see it's grayed out. That's because I've got multiple items selected. So if I take out multi-select mode, now I can use the find function. So say I wanted to find paddock 17, I just press F2 to bring up the on-screen keyboard, hit enter for the 1, scroll across to 7, enter on that, and F2 to dismiss the keyboard, and you can see there it's selected paddock 17 for me. So I just hit escape, that will take me out of the find mode. Okay, the next tool we've got there is called go to. So if you want on your map screen to go to a particular object, so at the moment I've got paddock 17 selected. If I hit go to, then on my navigation screen it has a cursor there pointing at paddock 17, and as you can see I'm 327 meters away, and I've got a very simple line to follow if I want to get there. So to dismiss that, just hit escape. Okay, the next item in the list is properties. So if we select that, so this is the properties for paddock 17. Got a number of properties here. Obviously the colour, well, first of all name, so I can change that name if I want to. Just bring up the on-screen keyboard and I can type in whatever I want to replace that name. I'm just going to leave it as paddock 17 at the moment. And then page, and I can change the colour. So there's a list of set colours. I might want to make that one red. And then I can also decide whether I want it visible. So if I set it to invisible, I won't see it in my map preview, in my navigation page, and filled or not filled. And also you can see the area, perimeter, and lat and longitude for that paddock. So I go enter on that, and if I go back to my main screen, zoom out a bit, you see paddock 17 over here is now coloured red. So now I can select all of my features, go to properties, and now this doesn't have any colour set in it because some of the paddocks are different. But if I set it to green, it'll turn green and all the paddocks will be green now. And I can also make them unfilled, so I'll just get an outline. And if I go back to my map screen, I've got a green outline paddocks. Next item on the list is delete, so I can delete the selection or delete all. Now I'll just select none, and then just select one paddock, say paddock 4, go menu, delete selection, OK, and now you can see paddock 4 down here is no longer there. And then we've got import, so I can import from a USB stick, and then I just browse my file, click OK, set my default attributes, my color and my fill, and click OK to import. I'm not going to do that now though. And I can also import from global, so I can either import from another set, or if I was in a job I could import from that job, but all my other sets are currently empty, so there's nothing to import there. And I can also export to USB, so I can save my paddocks. Well, at the moment I would only be exporting paddock 5, so if I wanted to export all my paddocks I would have to select all and export to USB. And the default name is set1 outlines, but I can change that to whatever I like. And I have the option of exporting to a shapefile or to a KML file for Google Earth. So once you've decided what you want to do, just page and OK, and that will export the files for you. Options is options. So we've got a control here called limit detail. That sets the scale at which the set will no longer be displayed. So if I set that and set it to 5, select OK. Now you see I cannot see my paddocks because I'm zoomed out too far past the limiting detail, but as I zoom in, the paddocks will appear. Once again, zoom out, they're gone, they appear again. And the final thing you can do in the block outline menu is set thick lines. So if I set that and go back to my navigation page, you can see the lines for my blocks have become double thickness. And that's the block outline menu.